What's the most annoying thing that ever happened to you? Neighbor from hell. Everyone has a story about something or someone that got under their skin so badly it left a scar. Not the big dramatic betrayals, but the little daily irritations that build up until you either snap or get even. For me, that most annoying thing wasn't a stranger. It wasn't even a boss. It was my neighbor. And oh, did I get my revenge? I just moved into a small apartment complex. It wasn't luxury, but it was clean, affordable, and supposedly quiet. That last part was important. I worked early mornings and valued my sleep like gold. My new neighbor, however, had other plans. His name was Rick, though in my head I just called him noise pollution personified. He was in his early 30s, worked from home, at least that's what he claimed, and treated the apartment like it was his personal nightclub. Music blasting at 2 a.m., shouting on his balcony into his phone. Friends over every weekend, laughing so loudly the walls shook. At first, I tried to be patient. Everyone deserves to enjoy their home. I even knocked once politely and said, "Hey, I work early. Mind keeping it down after midnight?" He smirked. "Sure thing, neighbor." That very night, the music was louder. The annoyance builds. The weeks dragged on. Sleep deprivation clawed at me. My job performance slipped. I tried everything: earplugs, white noise machines, even sleeping on my couch in the farthest room. Nothing helped. The worst part, Rick wasn't just noisy. He was inconsiderate in every possible way. He'd park his car halfway into my space. He'd leave trash bags outside his door for days. He'd use the shared laundry machines, then forget about his clothes for hours. It was like living next to a human embodiment of irritation. And when I complained to the landlord, the response was, "We'll talk to him." But nothing ever changed. That's when I realized if I wanted peace, I'd have to take matters into my own hands. The night it all snapped was a Wednesday. I had a huge presentation the next morning, the kind that could make or break my career. I went to bed at 10 p.m., determined to get a full 8 hours. At 11:30, the bass started. By midnight, it felt like my walls were vibrating. By 12:30, Rick and his buddies were screaming along to bad karaoke. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, fury boiling inside me. That's when the idea sparked. A plan. A beautifully petty, perfectly legal revenge plan. Step one was research. If Rick wanted to play the annoying neighbor game, I'd beat him at it. I started taking notes, dates, times, exact noise levels, thanks to a decibel meter app on my phone. I recorded audio clips, captured video of him double parking, and snapped photos of his trash pileups. Within 2 weeks, I had a file thicker than a crime report. Step two, leverage. Rick liked to brag, loudly, and one night I overheard him on the balcony telling a friend about how he never really reported income from his side hustles. He laughed about how the government would never catch him. I made a note of that too. It all came together on a Sunday afternoon. Rick had left his car once again, spilling halfway into my space. I took a clear photo, then called the tow company the landlord used. Blocked access, I explained sweetly. Happens all the time. When Rick came back an hour later and found his car gone, the tantrum he threw was legendary. I sat by my window, sipping tea, watching him stomp around like a toddler. But that was just the warm up. The next day, I compiled my Rick file, all the recordings, photos, and notes, into a neat digital folder. I emailed one copy to the landlord with a polite but firm message. Open quote, "This tenant is violating noise ordinances, damaging community peace, and creating unsafe conditions. Please address this immediately, or I'll have no choice but to escalate to the city." Close quote. Then I sent another copy to the local housing authority. And, for good measure, I sent an anonymous tip to the tax office about Rick's little side hustle. The fallout was glorious. First, the landlord couldn't ignore me anymore. With so much evidence, they had no choice but to issue Rick a formal violation notice. 3 strikes, and he'd be evicted. Second, the city actually sent inspectors. Twice. Each time, Rick got slapped with fines for noise and improper trash disposal. Third, and this was the cherry on top, I don't know what the tax office found, but one day a very official looking envelope arrived in Rick's mailbox. He opened it on the balcony, went pale, and cursed loud enough for me to hear every word. Within a month, Rick's parties stopped, the music stopped, the shouting stopped, and 3 months later, he moved out. The day the moving truck pulled away, I stood on my balcony with the biggest smile on my face. The complex was quiet again, peaceful. Neighbors I barely knew came up to me afterward, whispering thank yous. Turns out, I hadn't been the only one suffering. Rick had been everyone's most annoying thing, but I was the one who finally ended it. So, what's the most annoying thing that ever happened to me? Living next to Rick. The sleepless nights, the constant frustration, the feeling of being powerless. But here's the thing, I got over it. Not by ignoring it, not by suffering in silence, by fighting back smart, gathering evidence, and letting karma do the heavy lifting once I gave it a nudge. And to this day, every time I enjoy the silence of my home, I remember that sweet, sweet moment of watching Rick's car get towed. And I smile. Because sometimes the most satisfying revenge is simply getting your peace back. Like and subscribe. Share if this happened to you or someone you know.